Friends, today we're shooting the Geek 8 times. We've filmed all 5 colors for everyone, and I chose cloud-breaking red. Everyone might be wondering, is this really red? Actually, when you see it in the studio, it feels a bit red, a bit purple, and in low light it can even look almost black. It really feels like you're paying for one color, but getting 3. This color is made with rare mineral pigments, plus a dual-layer coating, so if you look closely, you'll notice a very fine metallic sparkle. We think this is the best-looking color in the entire Geek lineup. This is also our first studio shoot of 2026, so we want to wish everyone a prosperous new year. May everything go smoothly and good fortune come your way, especially for longtime Geek owners, particularly those with the original 01. Do you remember there used to be a color called Starry Red? Yes. And this color here is now the only red still available among all Geek models on sale Meteorite Red. This little fun fact alone deserves a like, doesn't it? At the front, you can recognize it at a glance. It uses the same grille style as the 90 times, but with some differences. Compared with the 9 times, the entire front lip is finished in high-gloss trim, and the details on the sides are subtly yet noticeably wider than on the 9 times. It also features the world's first and largest breathing grille. The ZELL C-shaped headlight design is used here, with DLP headlights underneath. One more difference is that it includes air guiding channels on the sides, designed for aerodynamic flow. Let's talk about the body size. The 8 times is positioned as a mid to large SUV. Compared with the 9 times, its wheelbase is exactly 10 millimeters shorter. The 9 times is 5.23 meters long, while this car is 5.1 meters long. The wheelbase difference between the two is also exactly 10 millimeters. In terms of width, the 9 times is over 2 meters wide. This one is just under 2 meters. Close, but not quite there. Take a moment to imagine that size. The 8 times is available in both 5-seat and 6-seat layouts. Now let's look at the wheels. There are 6 wheel designs in total. None of them are fully polished bright metal wheels. One is 20-inch, 3 are 21-inch, and 2 are 22-inch. The one on this car is a 22-inch wheel with a very aggressive aspect ratio, 275/40ths 22 rands. From this, you can tell that the 8 times really emphasizes sporty handling. There is also a fully black wheel option. If you're familiar with Geek, you'll know the 9 times has an obsidian black edition. So from both the wheels and the meat filing information, it's clear that the 8 times will also have a similar blacked out version. In the past, those versions were usually paired with dark paint, but we think this red would look amazing with an all-black front end. We even mocked up an AI concept to imagine it. Geek, how about releasing that version? Conclusion first, the side profile has a completely different vibe from the front. From the roof rails, the window line, and the character line around the door handles, it has a very traditional European feel. The changes in the body surfaces and paint reflections are also very noticeable. From this angle, you can clearly see a golden highlight line running along here, created by the concave and convex surfacing, giving the car a rich play of light and shadow. I'm not sure if the camera can fully capture it. Another difference, the 9 times didn't have roof rails, but the 8 times does. And although it uses traditional door handles, the rubberized touch area inside is surprisingly wide, which feels very different from most current new energy vehicles. The golden highlight line above the wheel arch is also different from the 9 times. On the 8 times, it's more pronounced, almost like 3 distinct lines. The wheel arch area itself is flat. The D-pillar design is clearly different too. On the 9 times, the entire D-pillar is finished in high gloss, while this one is not, and it also doesn't have the Z logo there. That section feels quite different from the front-end character of the car. If you still can't tell the 8 times and 9 times apart from the front and side, just look at the rear. It's very obvious. The 9 times uses dual full-width taillights to match its split tailgate design. The 8 times uses a taillight design called the high-end line. The lower light strip does not fully run across the car. If you look closely, you'll notice it's not a continuous strip at all, but rather a very 3-dimensional design made up of 3 lines. You can even find these 3 lines echoed on the inside of the wheel arches. The license plate area on the 8 times is positioned higher, while on the 9 times, it sits lower, because the 9 times split tailgate is very large, with a 5.1 meter body length. If you choose the large 5-seat version, you can really imagine just how huge the trunk will be. Today, we're focusing on the exterior and static overview. So let's briefly talk about the powertrain and battery. Like the 9 times, it uses a 5C battery system with a 70 kWh battery pack. Because it's smaller than the 9XL, its pure electric range is longer, over 400 kilometers. With a full tank and full charge, total range exceeds 1,400 kilometers. Most importantly, it has now entered the 2-second club for acceleration. You might ask, does it really make sense for a 5.1-meter-long car to emphasize handling and sportiness? Yes, that's Geek's DNA. Even though it's a hybrid, it uses a 2 trillions engine, which is a key point. In other areas, it's on par with the 9 times. It has active stabilizer bars, dual-chamber air suspension, and dual-valve CCD dampers. Those are all the same. Earlier, we compared it a lot with the 9 times, and you might think the differences are mainly about size, but in reality, the 9 times leans more toward business and executive use, while this car emphasizes high performance in the mid to large SUV segment. The two clearly target different needs. Even though the 9 times has a hyper version, it still offers very high-end interior features, such as sliding screens and face-to-face seating, things this car definitely won't have. Given its 5.1-meter length, we actually recommend the large 5-seat version for the 8 times. Now, let's look at the 9 times pricing to make an educated guess. The 9 times is priced between 460,000 and 600,000 RMB. So after seeing the 8 times, how much do you think it will cost? Our prediction is that it will be launched in the first half of this year. So if you're interested, it might be worth waiting.